Jean Pascal versus Lucian Bute. We're just under 2 weeks away from the fight. And these are my thoughts going into the fight. Based on their past performances, their most recent performances, I see Jean Pascal knocking Lucian Bute out. Lucian Bute looked terrible against Denis Grachev. He looked like a traumatized fighter. He looked like a guy who was not only battling Denis Grachev in the ring, but he was also battling the ghost of Carl Froch. That beating that Froch put on him really damaged him psychologically. And he was hurt several times in that Denis Grachev fight by pretty innocuous punches. And that can often happen when a fighter is suffering from almost, I guess you might even call it post-traumatic stress disorder. I mean, I'm not a psychologist, but I know a little bit about post-traumatic stress and stuff like that, which I've learned over the years. And he's certainly suffering from some type of trauma from that Carl Froch defeat. Because, I mean, you just go and watch the Denis Grachev fight and you'll see what I'm saying. That was not the Lucian Bute we're used to seeing. All right, he wasn't as confident. And when he got hit by shots, he didn't react as positively as he normally would. He reacted in a very negative way. And he just did not seem himself at all. If that Lucian Bute turns up to fight Jean Pascal, I think he'll get knocked out. I just think Pascal will walk through him. He will land some shots and he'll knock Lucian Bute out. But here's the thing. If we get the Lucian Bute pre-Carl Froch, then it's a different fight altogether. If we get a guy who's confident in his own ability and confident in himself, then he has the ability to beat Jean Pascal. Because the thing about Pascal, he does have speed, he does have good power, and Pascal's shown so far, he's got a pretty good chin as well. But the problem with Pascal is he doesn't have a very high ring IQ. He's pretty much a one-trick pony. He's an ambush fighter. He stays on the outside. He tries to jump in with fast shots when he sees you off balance, or when he sees you make a mistake. That is pretty much his style in a nutshell. He doesn't do anything overly technical. He doesn't really know how to set up different forms of attack. He pretty much does the same thing in every fight. Bernard Hopkins realized that and figured him out very easily. And Chad Dawson struggled with him in the early rounds, but late in that fight, he started catching up with Jean Pascal. You know, so Pascal is a fairly one-dimensional fighter. He is, as I said, athletically gifted. He has decent power. He has good speed. Fairly durable guy. A physically strong guy. All right, he is physically strong, but one-dimensional. And I can see someone like Bute, southpaw style, a bit more technically adept and a bit more cerebral than Lucian Bute is. Than Jean Pascal is, giving Pascal all types of problems from a technical standpoint. Bute is the taller fighter. And as far as I'm concerned, he's the technically more proficient fighter than Jean Pascal. So if it was the pre-Froch Lucian Bute, I may be leaning towards Lucian Bute. But I can only go on what I've seen in their most recent fights. And it's possible that Lucian Bute's got over the trauma of the Carl Froch incident now, of the Carl Froch fight. Because it's been quite a long time since the Grachev fight now. So maybe he's got over the trauma. Maybe it's been enough time for those mental scars to heal. He's had enough sparring and stuff like that to get over it. That's possible. Maybe it's probable, but I don't know. I just want to go on his last fight. Okay, and based on his last fight against Denis Grachev, I just felt he was so shaky in that fight. He looked so traumatized that I can't see past a Jean Pascal win at this particular stage. Again, I'm not saying Lucian Bute don't have a chance. I'm obviously saying he does have a great chance if he comes into the ring mentally correct, like he was pre-Froch. But I don't know, man. I'm not sure if he's had enough time to heal mentally. And because of that, I'm going to go with Jean Pascal to stop Lucian Bute in this fight. I'm going to go with him to stop Bute. I don't know if it's going to be early or late. Maybe Pascal will try to jump on him early. I don't know. But, you know, figuring out a southpaw is a little bit more complex. Although Pascal did do a good job of figuring Dawson out early. His tactics with Dawson were pretty good early on, but Dawson is a notoriously slow starter, right? He's had that throughout his career. He's always been a guy who tends to start a little bit slow in a lot of his fights. And Pascal starts fast in a lot of his fights. We saw that against Carl Froch. We saw that against Bernard Hopkins, especially in the first fight. So, you know, possibly Pascal might jump on Bute early and try and get him out. So we might see an early stoppage. But if the fight goes late, that is where Bute might start coming into it. Because, again, Pascal has been criticized for not having the best stamina as well. And he is a very husky guy. He's a big guy, very heavily muscled. And those big, bulky muscles tend to get tired more quickly than a more slender guy like Lucian Bute. So if it does go late and Bute does survive the early onslaught, we might see Bute going on to do something in the later rounds, maybe picking up a decision. I'm not sure who is the more favoured in Canada, Bute or Pascal. I know they're both quite big draws in Canada. I'm not sure who's the more favoured. Should it be a close decision? I don't know which way it would go on the judges' cards. I don't know the politics up there in Canada. Maybe some of you Canadians could fill me in on that. But yeah, again, it's a fight that is potentially competitive, which potentially could go either way. But based on what I saw in their last fights, I'm going to go with Jean Pascal to stop Lucian Bute. But drop your comments below. What do you think about this fight? Who do you think is going to win? How do you think the fight's going to play out? Do you think Lucian Bute has gotten over the mental trauma of the Carl Froch fight? Do you agree with me that he looked very shaky against Denis Grachev and did not look like himself? Drop your comments below. Let me know how you feel. This is Hatman. I'm out.